NFL analyst Shannon Sharpe is being accused of heinous crimes by a 20-year-old OF model. This is getting absolutely insane, where now it looks like his career could be completely over, especially given the new information that's coming out, the new leaked phone calls that are coming out, and also Sharpe's legal team's recent confession that he tried to pay this woman $10 million to keep her quiet. We're going to break this whole thing down from both sides, and you decide what you think is true. So originally, we did not know the name of Sharpe's accuser. We did not know who it was. It was just Jane Doe, according to the lawsuit. But Sharpe, in a recent statement, revealed her name, her OF name, her influencer name. And you can see the picture of her right there. I cannot even scroll down any lower because I don't think YouTube's gonna allow these cheeks on screen. But her name on Instagram is She Is Carly, Carly with a K, 20 years old. Sharpe is in his 50s. He's claiming this is a money grab. This is extortion. She's claiming that he did the worst thing you could possibly do. He AR'd her during their abusive relationship that lasted roughly a year. It was apparently a 2-year relationship. He met her when she was 19. And according to her, he repeatedly threatened to brutally her and violently slap her. And according to her, Sharpe was not willing to accept no for an answer on a couple occasions, and he continued to do erotic acts with her despite the fact that she was sobbing and repeatedly screamed no. This is according to her. He is claiming it's a shakedown for money. She is seeking $50 million in damages, and it's come out recently, according to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, that he originally tried to settle with her for $10 million. This started to really blow up when on the Pat McAfee show just this past week, you had WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman make a joke about Shannon Sharpe and the lawsuit.
You don't care about the opinions of most people who are very relevant in your life. You don't care about the opinions of the people who pay you. They sit there and they go, hey, Mr. McAfee, don't talk about Shannon Sharpe on the air today. And you go, I talk about anything I want. I'm Pat McAfee. All right. Watch.
Now, Heyman was mainly making jokes about Pat McAfee, how he goes rogue and does whatever he wants on ESPN. Shannon Sharpe is currently employed by ESPN. You could see him on First Take. So this was pretty alarming that you had this lawsuit mentioned on the ESPN network where Sharpe is employed. Now, Sharpe's accuser, let's just call her Gabby for the rest of this video. Her lawyer is Tony Bubsy. This is the same guy that was the lawyer that represented all the women who sued Deshaun Watson just a few years ago, and he's also the lawyer behind a lawsuit that targeted Jay-Z and P. Diddy. I'm not going to repeat these allegations because that could get me in trouble on this platform, but the allegations are of a similar nature. Now, let it be known that the lawsuit against Jay-Z and P. Diddy was withdrawn. Now, Gabby and her lawyer Bubsy did release some calls between her and Shannon Sharpe, and they do appear damning in this first recording that was dropped, and there's going to be more recordings that we show you in a little bit. You can hear Sharpe from this clip, we don't know if it's out of context, threaten to choke her.
And you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like...
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so...
I don't want to be... Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
So that was released when this lawsuit was announced, and obviously it paints Shannon Sharpe in a bad light. But is there more to the story? Is this a legit recording? Sharpe and his legal team have been pushing back, claiming that these recordings are taken out of context. And this story became so big that Sharpe has released a statement about it.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup. Coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about, and I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
So he's claiming second there's going to be a tape, a Ray J type Kim K looking tape that's going to be released soon with Shannon Sharpe, I'm definitely going to have to close my eyes on my X timeline during this upcoming week. But that has not been released yet. He was reacting to the phone call that was released. And for a while, Sharpe did look good in the public eye after releasing this statement, painting Tony Bubsy and Gabby, she is Carly, as people who are just seeking money, who are being disingenuous, who are posting things out of context. Sharpe also did some things to make him look good in the public eye, but I'm going to tell you just right now, there's some more updates that happen that totally changed the narrative, and we're going to get into that. But after he released this video, he also released text messages that he had between him and Gabby, and it sort of looked like maybe they were into some sort of BDSM, and they had that type of relationship, and that's why you sort of have this aggressive talk from Shannon Sharpe. You could see this here where she, in a text message to Shannon Sharpe, says, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're screwing me." And also a text message from January where she texts him saying, "I know you miss this big juicy ass, 25,000 for each cheek." So that text message is trying to make her look bad, like she's pursuing money. But just like the phone calls, we don't know the validity of these text messages. This is just coming from Shannon Sharpe. We don't know if this is completely true, also taken out of context, also in a different period. And from August, this is some more text messages from Shannon Sharpe that is going to paint Gabby in a bad light, where she says she wants him to put a big black baby in her, and also says you better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me. Obviously, these messages are trying to imply that she's money hungry, trying to get knocked up for cash and be paid for life, since Shannon Sharpe is a very wealthy individual. But things have changed now where more voice recordings are being released between Shannon Sharpe and Gabby, and this does not look good for the talking head on ESPN.
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah, I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you did what you did to me.
Okay, well...
Well, what?
So obviously we need more context with these clips, but that clip by Gabby is trying to paint Shannon Sharpe in a bad light. This is not some type of BDSM relationship that they're having. This is a relationship is what Gabby and her legal team are trying to portray with these recordings. And maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. I'm not taking any sides here. I'm presenting both sides and the information that's available right now. And what happened after that leaked phone call was that TMZ released more text messages between Shannon Sharpe and his accuser. This appears to be from Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, where the lawyer is claiming that Gabby's tune changed once Sharpe was not interested in having a child with her. Just like with all of this, we still don't know the validity, and there's a civil lawsuit going on right now, and hopefully they find out whether or not these different details are true. But these are partially a bad look for Gabby and also a bad look for Sharpe when it comes to this lawsuit. So this first one is Gabby saying, "I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not put it in my ass, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon." So obviously not looking good for Shannon Sharpe. She's saying no means no. Sounds like she didn't consent to something and he did it anyways. But then you have these messages from Gabby to Sharpe where she says, "I want to be his daddy. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though." Obviously that's going to make some of her allegations look suspect. She could allegedly be taking some of this BDSM talk out of context to paint Sharpe in a bad light. And there's more messages where she says, "I want you to tie me up like this and abuse me, daddy." Now the entire network of ESPN is coming under fire. ESPN has done nothing, has said nothing about the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit, and they actually had Sharpe on air just this past Tuesday. He is back on air, not fired, not suspended, not put on leave after these allegations, after this lawsuit was filed by Tony Bubsy and Gabby. And after the text messages were released, after the statement from Sharpe was released, you had the lawyer, like we mentioned at the top of this video, say that Sharpe previously offered her at least $10 million to settle this case. And the fact that he did that, at least amongst people in the world and on the World Wide Web, it does paint him in a bad light. Why would you settle the case if you really believe that you're clean, you're clear, this is a shakedown? Why would you offer to at least pay $10 million? Then the other side says, hey, the cost and the damage to your reputation from this type of lawsuit is worth just paying $10 million to have it all go away rather than then let it drag out. So on one level, Sharpe could be completely innocent and still feel the need to settle $10 million because that's obviously not going to be as bad as $50 million. And it's much better to keep something like this quiet because it's now going to forever damage his reputation, whether or not it's true or not true. And that is part of the reason why I think there's going to be mounting pressure on ESPN to get rid of Shannon Sharpe. And Shannon Sharpe really is kind of hypocritical and has a double standard here because he's the type of guy who's gone on ESPN, ripped into players who had allegations against them, even though it was not fully settled in a court of law. He has gone ahead to attack people's character because of allegations. You saw that happen with the Deshaun Watson situation where Shannon Sharpe claimed that Deshaun Watson is not sorry for what he's done and he's just fearing punishment from the NFL. What's ironic is that the lawyer that's now going after Shannon Sharpe was going after Deshaun Watson, and in that situation, Sharpe had no problem with throwing Watson under the bus, even though it was just allegation. And you had this clip from the nightcap where, for some reason, Sharpe is talking about dating younger women.
When Unc say he want to date younger men, they killed me. What they said, what the women, what I said, I want to date younger women. What I said? Oh, when I want to date, when I want to date younger women, what they say, Ocho? Right. Oh, I'm a creep. Oh, I'm grooming. I'm grooming. That's the term they use with me.
Obviously, that clip is not damning when it comes to Gabby or AKA She Is Carly's allegations, but it is kind of silly that he was already having that label on his mind from dating a younger woman, being a groomer, controlling, etc. This is a civil lawsuit, not a criminal lawsuit, so Shannon Sharpe is only going to be expected to pay money. They're seeking $50 million in damages. This story has gotten so big, it's blown up. You can see Sharpe's statement getting 54 million views on X. That is huge and absolutely insane. And ESPN has still said nothing about it. Even if Sharpe is innocent, I still think, unfortunately for him, if he is innocent, we don't know if he's innocent, maybe he's guilty, but if he is innocent, unfortunately for him, I still think this is going to be a big hit to his career, his reputation, and ESPN at some point is going to have to do something. They're going to have to do something, and as each day passes and as more leaked phone calls and potentially a leaked tape is released, they're definitely going to have to respond.